Well, since the Robert Mueller testimony last week turned out to be a supersized nothing burger with a side order of nothing, the Democrats have fallen back onto Plan B, which is to constantly accuse President Trump of being wasteful. Their latest proof is a series of tweets about Congressman Elijah Cummings, who is also the chairman of the House Oversight Committee, who continues to waste Congress's time by investigating President Trump for possible ties to Russia.
He wrote this: Cummings' district is a disgusting, rat and rodent-infested mess. If he spent more time in Baltimore, maybe he could help clean up this very dangerous and filthy place. No human being would want to live there. Infested. That's usually reserved for references to rodents and insects.
That's right, sir, because Congressman Cummings' district has a big rat problem, as the former mayor of Baltimore can attest to.
About a year ago, city leaders identified some of the city's most violent neighborhoods.
What the hell? We should just take all this down.
To target.
Ooh, you can smell the rats.
Under Baltimore's Violence Reduction Initiative.
Ooh, Jesus.
Just last week, we went with Mayor Pugh as she toured an East Baltimore neighborhood.
Oh my God, you can smell the dead animals.
Blocks of dilapidated buildings help to hide the addiction that's crippled this community.
So the former mayor agrees with President Trump that the ghettos in Baltimore have a big rodent problem, but the Democrat candidates running for president have a slightly different take.
Donald Trump masterfully makes it a racist debate about Baltimore.
Another racist attack on an African-American member of Congress and the city he represents.
Well, the president is, as he usually is, or often is, disgusting and racist.
In the most bigoted and racist way.
A racist president who attacks people because they are African Americans.
How to respond when a president says racist things.
A racist who makes ever more outrageous racist remarks.
He clearly wasn't talking about the people, he was talking about the rodents who are taking over, as the locals have been concerned about for some time now.
Gross, smelly, dirty, germ-infested. We're talking about rats, folks.
And you can't forget huge, right?
Right.
Rats. Just the name makes you shudder.
Ew. It's just, nobody wants to live with rodents. We're not the Ninja Turtles.
DPW Director Rudolph Chow says they need everyone's help with this effort, reminding people to better secure their trash, removing food sources for the rats. The program is set to cover more than 12,000 alleys, treating each one every 20 days, coinciding with a rat's 20-day gestation period.
Looks like a great place. I'm sure that people are moving there in droves.
But that word, infested, that word is a particularly loaded one coming from this president. A word he sure likes to use when he is attacking people of color. You remember his racist attack on those 4 congresswomen? Tweeting that they should go back to the, quote, crime-infested places from which they came.
The president's comments didn't sit particularly well with this weekend anchor on CNN who tried his best to get nominated for an Oscar.
Infested, he says. The president says about Congressman Cummings' district, that no human would want to live there. You know who did, Mr. President? I did. From the day I was brought home from the hospital to the day I left for college. And a lot of people I care about still do. There are challenges, no doubt. But people are proud of their community. I don't want to sound self-righteous, but people get up and go to work there. They care for their families there. They love their children who pledge allegiance to the flag, just like people who live in districts of congressmen who support you, sir. They are Americans too. We'll be right back.
Of course, none of the Democrats or their mouthpieces in the mainstream media got upset when Bernie Sanders, back in the last presidential campaign, said that the same community looked like a third world country.
What are your impressions as you walk our city?
Well, one would not know that you're living in the wealthiest country in the history of the world. What you look at is what would a third world country look like. And it's a pretty sad state of affairs.
I sure miss Robert Mueller because it was a lot more fun to talk about the Russian bots than the rats. But thankfully, the cable news networks are going to keep his memory alive for probably about the next 6 years.
The oath you took is to defend the Constitution against enemies,
foreign and domestic. Is Donald Trump a domestic enemy of the Constitution?
I think he is. And when you have a commander-in-chief, not just a president, but a commander-in-chief who's more interested in listening to Russia than our own intelligence professionals, what message does that send to a country of people who volunteer to serve in our military?
Like I said, there doesn't appear to be an end to this madness anytime soon, but if we can get out the vote next year, then we can keep this going for a whole second term. Subscribe to my channel if you're new here, and if you guys enjoy watching my videos, head on over to my online store at markdice.com or click the link in the description below to get one of my awesome shirts, like the Trump Thug Life shirt, the I Love Global Warming shirt, or the Liberal versus Conservative Brain shirt. All available in a t-shirt, long sleeve, or a hoodie, and a whole bunch of different colors as well. And your purchase helps keep this channel going, so I appreciate your support, guys. So head on over to markdice.com or click the link in the description below and check them out.